Hello everyone, this is George with the Paper Panda Crafts. I am back with another video. Today's video is going to be a craft tool review of the HFS heavy duty cutter. This is sold by HFS, which is hardwarefactorystores.com. But I got this off of Amazon. You can get it from this website or you can get it off of Amazon. On Amazon, it is listed as HFS Heavy Duty Guillotine Paper Cutter 12 by 12. On Amazon, it is $122.99. I did not pay that much because I got this one used through Amazon warehouse deals. So you always want to keep an eye out for those because you can get some really good stuff. And there's usually nothing wrong with it because it's usually just the box that's messed up. Or somebody, what I think happened with this is that somebody purchased it and it was just maybe overkill for them and they returned it, because when I got it, the box was sealed and everything was still wrapped in plastic and everything was brand new. So I think I got it for maybe about $90, give or take. I don't really remember. I purchased it on March 18th of 2020. So yeah, I've been using it for 3 months. So, but I love this thing. It's great. I use it to cut my notebooks down. I use it to cut standard copy paper, 11, was it 8.5 by 11? I cut that down in half to where I have, I guess it's A2 size paper. I think that's what it is. I could be wrong. Somebody let me know. But yeah, I cut that down so that way I can use those in my notebooks and things like that I make. And this is also what I use to cut down my chipboard. Because I can cut multiple pieces at the same time. It's really, really a time saver. And it's very, very easy to use, and it's easy to put together. Everything pretty much comes assembled. The only thing you have to put together is this little handle here that raises and lowers the presser foot right here. Other than that, everything already comes assembled. The handle comes separate, and you just slide that on there like that. I know that's a little out of frame, but that's the best I can do with with this angle. But it's super easy to use, and it takes little to no effort to cut things. It has a little toolbox right here, labeled Toolbox, and in here you have your Allen wrench, extra little replacement screws, so when you have to replace the blade and things like that, everything's in there for you. And you can just tuck everything back in there. I have an extra Allen wrench in there, so that's why it's kind of weird to close. Oh, never mind, it closed very easily that time, of course. I haven't been able to get it closed correctly until right now. So but I'm going to do a little demonstration. Again, super easy to use. All you're going to do is you turn this to get your presser foot to raise. And I'm going to cut down some heavyweight copy paper. I have a ream of 500. This is capable of cutting 400 sheets of paper. I believe 20-pound paper at one time. But I'm not going to be cutting 400 sheets. Okay, so we get this to 5.5, which is half of 11. And I'm going to cut, it says it can do 400 sheets at once. Again, I'm not doing 400 sheets. I'm going to do, I don't even know how many this is, that many, which is still a good amount. But I'm going to put it in here. Get everything all nice and squared. Make sure it's really pressed up against this guard, and make sure it's pressed up against the back here. And then you can lower your presser foot. And this is what's going to hold your paper in place. so that way it doesn't shift around, because the way this thing cuts is it kind of comes down at an angle and then slices through. So it's not doing it all in one chop, it's kind of going across it and then it'll finally come down. So you just want to make sure to have the presser foot good and tight so that way the paper doesn't shift as it's cutting. So you're going to release your safety, and it's really doesn't take really much effort at all. Obviously the more paper you put in here, the more effort you're going to have to put forward, but for this little bit I don't think it'll really take much effort at all. But you just hold this down and bring your blade down, and that's it. And there we go. Nice clean cut. And you can release your presser foot. And there's the other half there. And so now I have plenty of paper for when I make notebooks. Alright, and again, like I said, this is what I use to cut chipboard as well. So it's the same process. You're just going to whatever measurement you want to do. You can also freehand it. So if you just need like 3 inches, you can put it there on the 3-inch mark. You know, if you just want to cut one piece real quick. This is just a piece of scrap chipboard. And same thing. You bring it down. And there you go. And I can cut multiple pieces at the same time, which is great. It's just a great time saver. So let's say I need to cut all of these at once. You just put them all in there. Get your presser foot nice and tight. And release your safety and cut. And there we go. And all nice and even. And I will say this cuts so evenly. I love it. This was a great investment. It is an investment, you know, I know it is expensive, but if you use a lot of chipboard and you cut a lot of custom size papers and things like that, this is a really, really good investment. It's going to be worth your money. It's built really well. It's really solid. It is very heavy though, so if once you find a place for it, that's where it's going to live. So this isn't a trimmer that you put away and bring out when you want to use it. This will be a permanent fixture in your craft area. So make sure you have a place for it to live, and because that's where it's going to stay. So it is very heavy, but when you're using it, you know it's not going anywhere. There's y'all can't see it, but there is a guard on this side that comes off. This is just to protect your fingers, make sure your hand doesn't accidentally kind of, you know, get in the way of the blade. Just kind of keeps everything out of the way of the blade. There's this little thing here which acts as just to hold anything that you might have sticking out over the edge. That way whatever you cut just doesn't immediately fall off to the side. This company does sell replacement blades, which I think I'm probably going to have to order replacement blades soon, because I've been cutting a lot of stuff with it, and so the blade might be a little on the dull side, but I could probably sharpen it, but I think it's kind of like a serrated blade, and I don't know how well sharpening it would go. But you can order replacement blades. I think the replacement blades are about $30. I mean, which isn't terrible, so I think that's pretty decent. But, I mean, the blade's not super dull. I just think it's maybe a little dull, but I think it's still completely functional. And like I said, this is also what I use to cut down my notebooks. Like I will cut down full-size, like, legal pads, and I will use this to cut them down into smaller, like 8x5 and 3x5 notepads, and just different lengths, 3x8, 8x5, whatever I want. And that's the great thing about this, is because I don't have to stick to notepads and things that I find in the store. If I can't find the certain size that I need, of whether it be paper or notepad or whatever, I can just buy whatever and cut it down myself. So that's why I think that this was a really, really great investment. So if you're looking for something industrial, something heavy duty to do some major cutting of like chipboard and paper and stuff like that, pick one of these up, and yeah, it's totally worth your money. It is Paper Panda approved. So whatever that's worth. So anyway, that's really it. I hope this was helpful. If y'all have any other questions, leave them in the comments. I try to answer and reply to every single comment I get. And if you liked what you saw, please like the video, subscribe, follow me on social media. All that is linked down in the description box below. And check out my other videos. And that's it. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.